I think that private philanthropy has a very special role in promoting social change, in supporting movements for social change that grow up from the grassroots. And that's because private foundations or private philanthropists, because of their independence from government and business and politics, and secondly, because of their the independence given to them by virtue of their financial resources, can afford to take risks that cannot be taken by the public sector, by governments, or by business.
One main purpose of philanthropy is to do those high-risk things that the government can then follow on once it's proven. And that is such an important concept that people don't focus on. And you couldn't have much more leverage if, for example, there's a project that you could do on a prototype basis for a few $100,000 that could ultimately, if it's successful, have become a government program involving tens or hundreds of millions of dollars. I don't know what could be more leverage than that. So that's really a key thing to work in. And in every aspect of what you do, leverage is so critical to remember that we all have absolutely limited resources.
Do you have any idea, and this will of course vary to a certain degree depending on the country you come from, what percentage the whole of philanthropy, even in a country in which the foundation sector is very well developed, the whole of philanthropy contributes to the public good? Even in countries where, like in the United States, in Germany, in Switzerland, where the foundation sector is very strong, we're in the 1% range, and not just a single foundation, all foundations taken together, 1%. If you want to have any impact with your philanthropic resources, you have to think about what the 99% do, because the 99% is what characterizes your country, your society. And if you do not have any impact on that 99% with your 1% leverage, you have to see your 1% as a kind of lever, and you have to try your best to use the lever to have an impact on the 99%. And in many, many countries, a lot of the 99% is the state. And so there we are. If you really want to change something, you have to think about some sort of a relationship with the state as a service provider or the state as a policymaker.
Foundations have been described as laboratories for social change. They are places in which experiments can take place. They are places where innovation can be pursued and places where risks can be taken. One of the great qualities and characteristics of a foundation is that it can promote innovation in a society which badly needs innovation.
It's important virtually in any community to have well thought out, well designed, accountable, effective philanthropic institutions to support the kinds of work in different civil societies that governments won't or shouldn't and the profit sector won't, to give voice to citizens' activities of all kinds.
I think for foundations with small resources, it's a mistake to think that you can't do a lot with those resources. I think there is a huge role to play with small grants. Obviously, you can achieve big things if you make big investments in institutions, but in contexts where philanthropy is new and civil society is not very well developed, there aren't very many local partners around. It may be a mistake sometimes to look to make large grants to institutions when you can actually reach further with your money and invest in the capacities of local institutions to do things for themselves.
And we've also learnt the importance of enabling that community not just to design the solution, but to develop it, to manage it, to lead it, and to talk about it, and to advocate for change. So enabling and empowering and equipping those communities to tell whoever it is, the politicians, the media, the policymakers, what needs to be done, how it needs to be done, what tools they need to do it with, to tell people what it's actually like on the ground and what it should be like on the ground. It is right, it is an absolutely right principle. it's also incredibly powerful.